Imagine you've been eyeballing that perfect kayak for weeks because you want something that actually works when you get out on the water, not just a glossy spec sheet. You're looking for a boat that will hold your gear, sit comfortably for a whole day of fishing, and still be light enough to carry to the launch without breaking your back. The fear? Buying a kayak that looks good on paper but ends up feeling cramped, unstable, or a nightmare to transport. That's the exact spot where the Kayaks Outlaw 11.5 and its companion Pelican Poseidon angler paddle try to earn their keep. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I spent a few evenings digging through forums, reading the few available user comments, and watching a couple of on-water videos to piece together how this combo performs in the real world. The key takeaway? The Outlaw is built around a filthy but with stuff I need philosophy, while the Poseidon paddle is trying to solve the fatigue that comes from a long day on the water. Let's walk through why that matters, where it actually shines, and who might be better off looking elsewhere. First, let's talk about setup. The Outlaw 11.5 is a sight-and-top design, so there's no need to cram yourself into a closed cockpit. That alone makes loading and unloading gear feel like a grocery run instead of a wrestling match. The hull is wide enough to give you decent primary stability, which is a big relief if you've ever been tossed off a narrow kayak by a sudden gust. The fold-away frame seat is a nice touch. When you're ready to paddle out, you pull the seat into place, and when you're ready to fish, you can adjust it forward or backward to get the perfect balance point. In practice, anglers have reported being able to shift their weight without the boat tipping, even when they have a cooler, a tackle box, and a couple of rods on board. Now, the paddle. The Pelican Poseidon Angler is a two-piece aluminum shaft with a fiber-reinforced blade. What that really means is you get a paddle that won't rust, stays light enough for a full-day outing, and has an ergonomic handle that mimics a natural rowing motion. The ergonomic shaft is designed to keep your wrist in a neutral position, which, after several hours, translates to less soreness in the forearm and a lower chance of developing that dreaded paddle elbow. In the videos I watched, seasoned anglers praised the paddle for its smooth exit and entry at the water surface, which reduces the drag that typically makes each stroke feel like you're pushing a brick. Who should buy this combo? If you're a beginner who wants a kayak that can double as a fishing platform without the need for expensive accessories, the Outlaw 11.5 is a solid entry point. Its storage compartments are surprisingly generous. There's a front hatch, a rear locker, and a couple of side bins that can hold everything from a dry bag to a portable fish finder. For the mid-level angler who spends most weekends on a lake or a slow-moving river, the stability and storage mean you can launch with a full tackle kit, sit for several hours, and still have room for a small cooler. The paddle's lightweight construction also makes it practical for those who have to carry the kayak up a hill to a launch point. The total weight is manageable for most people in the 150,180 pounds range. On the other hand, seasoned whitewater paddlers or those who chase big game offshore fish might want to look elsewhere. The 11.5-foot length, while great for stability, doesn't cut through chop as cleanly as a longer, narrower sea kayak would. If your typical outings involve waves, strong currents, or you need to track down a fast-moving fish in open water, the Outlaw's primary stability can become a limiting factor, making it feel tippy when you lean far over the side. Also, the aluminum shaft, while durable, doesn't have the same vibration-dampening feel as a carbon fiber paddle, so if you're extremely sensitive to hand fatigue, a premium carbon option could be more comfortable on multi-hour outings. A hidden trade-off appears when you consider the fold-away seat. It's convenient, but it adds a few moving parts that could eventually loosen if exposed to constant saltwater spray. In the few user clips I saw, owners mentioned that after a season of regular use, the seat latch occasionally needed a quick tighten. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's something to keep an eye on if you plan to keep the kayak in a marine environment. Practical strengths are easier to spot. The storage layout is a standout. The front hatch stays watertight, and the rear locker is large enough to hide your phone and a portable charger safely away from splashes. In real-world terms, that means you can actually take a laptop to a lake, open a map, and still keep your electronics dry, something a lot of entry-level kayaks forget to consider. The paddle's anti-slip shaft is another real-world win. In hot, sweaty conditions, you'll find that your hand doesn't slide off as easily.